everyone, it's Bunny, and it's time for another review. This week I'm taking a look at Ghost 1.0, which is another platformer Metroidvania game. I'm sorry, I will do something different at some point, but I did get it in the Steam sale. If you love robots, sci-fi and lasers, this is well worth taking a look at. So let's check it out. You are the eponymous Ghost, a mysterious young lady who's been hired for her ability to control androids remotely. Ploughing through the Nakamura factory, you encounter a wide variety of monsters, both of the robotic and alien varieties, and gradually upgrade your weapons, team, and ghost form. There's two basic sets of encounters: the set spawn mobs we've just seen, who hang around the facility on a set timer, and actually this I really liked. There's a few that get fixed by worker droids, which can really fuck up the puzzle sections, which I'll get onto later. And some rooms contain alarms, which trigger random wave-based events. Each time you defeat these waves of mobs, you receive currency, but also the room itself gets upgraded, making grinding for the next weapon you've taken a fancy to more difficult. This is a very neat mechanic, as grinding for currency due to the pathetic drops from set spawns easily could get tedious, and therefore the variety and ramp up is very, very welcome. The hook for this game is in the puzzle sections, where you disengage from your android body and control other robots around you. Think like the Ghost in the Shell game for PlayStation 2. You know, I'm not surprised by the similarity in name. The two characters you talk to in the control room, for instance, are reminiscent of Bato and Togusa in the way that they quip with each other and wind each other up. And Ghost's personality isn't too dissimilar to Motoko's either. Don't get me wrong, Ghost 1.0 derives but isn't derivative, and a lot of the similarities are superficial. I think of it as a nice homage to the franchise. Dividing the acts of the game are a few very, very large bosses, such as this one, with complex mechanics and large health pools. Whereas the events are challenged compared to the standard mobs, these bosses are an order of magnitude more difficult. As with the higher level events, boss fights often descends into bullet hell style dexterity tests, and I can say that compared to a lot of end bosses, defeating these will make you feel bloody amazing. Not in the least down to one boss which took me far too many times to down, due to what it does on death. Now I'm not going to spoil anything, but it struck me as a bit of a haha fuck you to the player. Something I doubted until I got a better idea of the sense of humour in the game. For example, there's literally an achievement called Trolled, where you basically open a box full of bombs and the text make light of your predicament by stating the program as an arsehole, essentially. Some of the humour in this game is a bit, some commentators might use the phrase, "is this memes?" The answer is no, this is internet humour. There's a lot of nerdy references and jokes, a few of which come across as a tad immature, but I was laughing more than I was groaning at it, so don't be discouraged. Back to the meat of the game. Upgrades are purchased from vendors with set item lists around the map. Thankfully, these are closed to 3D printers that save and teleport mechanism. Here you spend your hard-earned currency. There are a variety of awesome weapons, including a frag grenade laser and a laser machine gun, and rechargeable items used for healing and shields and so forth. These items are recharged at a cost though, which adds a nice sense of strategic use. Also purchasable are upgrades to fire rate and a double jump and so on. There's also a tech tree which deceptively contains NPCs, offering such perks as extra armour or a speedier ghost form. Skill points are of a set number hidden around the map, so be careful which ones you choose. This gives some replayability for different builds, however. On the topic of replayability, there's two game modes I've neglected to mention so far, but for good reason. Beyond the usual easy, medium, and I hate myself levels of game difficulty, at the start you can choose classic or survival mode. The difference being that survival adds an extra roguelike angle to the game. Instead of choosing to purchase items, you receive them every life. Difficulty increases the longer you survive, rather than upon room completion as we've seen, and perhaps the worst, when you die, all weapons and power-ups you have gained are lost. This mode is fantastic, and I strongly urge players to run through on this mode once you've completed the game on Classic. So much fun. Anyway, that's enough from me. Please leave a like or a comment if you feel I deserve it. Please subscribe if you enjoy my videos, and see you next week.